Imagine a world where the mightiest naval fleet, the US carrier strike group, could be rendered obsolete by a nation wielding a fraction of its power. This isn't a sci-fi fantasy, it's the chilling reality of Iran's asymmetric naval tactics. Today, we're diving deep into how swarms of speedboats, silent mines, and drone attacks are rewriting the rules of naval warfare, proving that size isn't everything when facing a determined, silent hunter. We are examining how Iran's asymmetric naval tactics, from swarm attacks to mining and drone warfare, systematically challenge US carrier strike groups. This concept unpacks the idea of the silent hunter, revealing how smaller, adaptable forces aim to negate the overwhelming technological advantage of a global superpower. At the heart of this conflict lies a narrow strip of water, the Strait of Hormuz. This is arguably the most important maritime choke point on the planet. Around 20% of the world's total oil supply passes through here every single day. It's incredibly narrow, just 21 nautical miles at its tightest point, and relatively shallow, which limits the maneuverability of large warships like aircraft carriers. Iran holds a significant geographic advantage. Its long coastline runs parallel to the strait, giving its forces countless hiding spots among coves and islands. This proximity means that Iranian forces can launch an attack and return to base in a matter of minutes, a luxury their adversaries don't have. The history of this region is filled with tension. The tanker war of the 1980s saw both Iran and Iraq attacking oil tankers, and ever since, skirmishes, standoffs, and tense encounters have been a regular feature. This constant friction has turned the strait into a permanent flashpoint, where a small incident could spiral into a major conflict. To counter American naval power, Iran developed a unique doctrine, particularly within its Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy, or IRGCN. This doctrine is simple. Quantity has a quality all its own. Instead of trying to build ships that can go toe-to-toe with a US destroyer, Iran has invested in hundreds, possibly thousands, of small, fast, and heavily armed speedboats. Think of it as a hornet's nest. A single hornet might not be a threat, but a swarm can overwhelm even the largest of targets. The operational concept behind these swarm tactics is to use overwhelming numbers to create chaos. A coordinated attack from multiple directions, with boats armed with machine guns, rockets, and even anti-ship missiles, aims to saturate a warship's defenses. The goal isn't necessarily to sink the carrier itself, but to disrupt its command and control, damage its critical systems, and create enough confusion to force it to retreat or become a sitting duck. Imagine trying to track and engage dozens of fast-moving targets simultaneously in the cluttered waters of the Gulf. It's a nightmare scenario for any ship captain. Of course, the US Navy isn't standing still. Modern warships are equipped with layered defense systems, from long-range missiles to rapid-fire phalanx CIWS guns, that can put up a wall of lead. But detecting these small boats in a crowded waterway, filled with civilian traffic and fishing vessels, is a massive challenge. The speedboats are small, have a low radar cross-section, and can easily blend in with the background clutter, making them difficult to spot until they are dangerously close. This is the essence of asymmetric warfare, turning a weakness, the lack of large ships, into a strength. But the threat doesn't just come from the surface. Lurking beneath the waves is another danger, the silent menace of naval mines. Iran is believed to possess a massive and diverse inventory of mines, ranging from older, Soviet-era models to more sophisticated, indigenously produced ones. These aren't just simple contact mines from old war movies. Many are advanced weapons that can be triggered by a ship's sound, magnetic field, or water pressure. Deployment is another area where Iran excels in covert operations. Mines can be laid by submarines, surface ships, or even disguised civilian vessels like dhows or fishing boats. This allows for rapid and clandestine mine-laying operations that can seal off a channel or create a dangerous no-go zone without any warning. We saw this in 2019, when several tankers were damaged by what were widely believed to be limpet mines attached to their hulls, showcasing a very precise and stealthy capability. The impact of mining on naval operations is profound. The mere suspicion of a minefield can bring all shipping to a halt. It forces an adversary to undertake slow, dangerous and resource-intensive minesweeping operations. For a large vessel like an aircraft carrier, which has a deep draft and is less maneuverable in confined waters, a single well-placed mine could cause catastrophic damage not just to the ship, but to the global economy that depends on the free flow of oil. It's a classic area denial strategy designed to make the cost of entering a certain part of the sea unacceptably high. And if threats from the surface and below weren't enough, Iran has also developed a formidable hybrid threat from the air. In recent years, Iran has made huge strides in its drone, or UAV, program. These drones have evolved from simple reconnaissance platforms to sophisticated tools used for targeting and, increasingly, for offensive strikes. We're talking about so-called suicide drones that can be launched in swarms just like the speedboats to overwhelm a ship's air defenses. Complementing the drone threat are Iran's land-based anti-ship cruise missiles. Hidden in coastal batteries along the Persian Gulf, these missiles, like the Nasr-1 or the longer-range Khalij-Fars, pose a significant danger. They are mobile, easy to conceal, and can be launched with little warning. Some are even mounted on fast attack craft, combining the swarm tactic with long-range precision firepower. This creates a complex, multi-layered defense problem for the US Navy. A carrier strike group now has to defend against a simultaneous attack from fast boats on the water, drones and missiles from the air, and mines from below. Each threat requires a different defensive response, and coordinating that response under pressure is incredibly difficult. An attack could come from 360 degrees, from the surface, the sky, and the sea, all at once. This is the ultimate goal of Iran's strategy, to present so many threats from so many directions that even the most advanced defensive systems in the world can't cope. This brings us to the core of asymmetry's edge. It's all about cost-effectiveness. A single speedboat might cost a few $100,000, a drone even less, a mine a fraction of that. Compare that to a Ford-class aircraft carrier, which costs over $13 billion, not to mention the billions more for its escort ships and aircraft. Iran's strategy is to use thousands of cheap, expendable assets to threaten and potentially neutralize multi-billion-dollar platforms. It's a game of economic attrition where Iran believes it has the advantage. The psychological impact is also huge. The constant threat of attack forces the US Navy into a defensive posture. It raises the political and economic cost of any military intervention in the region. By demonstrating this capability, Iran creates a powerful deterrent, signaling to the world that an attack on its interests will come at an unacceptably high price. It's about shaping the battlefield before a shot is even fired. So what does this mean for the future? The balance of power in the Gulf is constantly evolving. Iran's asymmetric approach shows that you don't need a blue water navy to challenge a superpower. These tactics, from swarm boats to drones, are providing a blueprint for other smaller nations looking to deter larger adversaries. The silent hunters of the Persian Gulf are redefining the rules of naval engagement, proving that in the 21st century, the biggest ship doesn't always win the fight. The age of symmetric warfare, of fleet-on-fleet battles, may be giving way to a new era of naval conflict, where David has a very real and very dangerous slingshot. Thank you for watching. If you found this deep dive into modern naval strategy interesting, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explores the changing face of warfare. Let us know in the comments what you think about these asymmetric tactics. Until next time.